I never really knew much about him, and this project let me reconnect with him.
Wonderful.
Today we're going to get our hands dirty. Like any other language, art has a vocabulary. So the vocabulary is a visual vocabulary. It's light, shadow, movement, texture, shape. All these words that you hear associated with art are a part of transforming a blank piece of paper into something else. You've all done incredible interviews with people in your families or friends, and what I want you to do is try to come back to the interview, stay with those thoughts and those feelings as you're drawing the portraits of the people that you interviewed.
This is my aunt, and she's 63 years old, and she's from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. In Baton Rouge, they were trying to integrate the schools, and because she had a really high average in all of her classes, she was asked to go and integrate the schools. And with 5 other kids, she was taken to the all-white school, and they were treated really poorly. She missed her prom when she was in high school because no one told her about it.
There was a war in Kosovo in 1999, and so my grandfather and his wife had to leave to go to Albania because their land was like the war spot.
I interviewed my brother about my mom having breast cancer. She had chemotherapy, so she would come home very tired, and she would just sleep, and my brother sometimes thought like she was dead. So he cried himself to sleep many times, and I mean, I stood up with him one night and we kind of just like hugged and just talked about it.
When she was about like my age, there was a war in Greece, and a lot of her brothers were drafted to fight, and she lost a lot of her brothers, except one of them got really injured by a bomb, so he was sent to the U.S.
He's a Cuban immigrant. He moved here when he was 17, not knowing a word of English.
That's my grandpa. He got drafted into the war, and then he got captured by the German soldiers and was sent to a camp. When he came home, like, the German soldiers kept on looking for him because he escaped. And he just had a hard life afterwards because everybody kept on looking for him. He always had to be like hiding.
This is my mom holding me as a child. With me as a child, her life just felt complete and new.
Well, this is my grandpa, and his experience was that he was an orphan by the age of 4. And what happened was that during World War II in Poland, a lot of people were hungry and there wasn't a lot of things like medicine. So his dad actually tried to steal some food for his family, and during that he was shot by a German soldier. And the same year, his mom died of pneumonia.
This is my mom. Her name is Shu Ching Sang, but her English name is Joyce. And she immigrated here from Taiwan, and she told me how like her immigration to America changed everything because everything was new, like the food, the culture, the people, the language, and people would make fun of her when she was in high school because she was Chinese and she was in like the Black and Hispanic school.
So this is my grandfather, Joseph. He was born in Castellamare del Golfo, Sicily, and in the 1920s he was kicked out. He was kicked out by the fascist party because he didn't agree with them, and the advocates of the fascist party in Sicily were just people he didn't like, and so he spoke against them, and they were like, you have to leave. He was a stowaway on a boat and to America. And it was really tough because, you know, he was like in the pipes, and the guy who was supposed to bring like the 20 people that were going, bring them food and water, story has it like he got arrested, but he probably just took the money and like fled, you know.
This is great-grandpa Max.
You look a little like him. A younger version, I might add.
Well, he was a socialist. While my dad was telling me about him, he accidentally called him great-grandpa Marx, which was ironic. So he lived, his father was a rabbi outside of Warsaw, and he lived with his father but as he grew older, he got kicked out because he was a socialist. So he came to America and started working in the iron industry. He worked with metal, and he did very well in it, and we still have some of his productions today. We've got a dustpan and an umbrella stand.
I enjoyed drawing a lot, even though it was pretty difficult. This project taught me that with different feelings, the pictures would come out very differently. When I used to go to museums, I would take one look at a piece of art and walk away. I think after this workshop, I would spend more time on a piece of art and try to figure out the emotion behind it. I realized that even though I'm still young, I can overcome many obstacles. From their story, I also appreciate my life and the freedoms that I have, because Kalman and his sister did nothing wrong, but they were put into a ghetto. The most meaningful part of the project to me was hearing everyone's story and how we all connect in some way or another.